Hey everybody, it's Pastor Jonathan and I'm here with another video, and today we're going to be talking about which Bible is best for you. So let's get into it. Hey everybody, I hope you're doing great. I hope you are excited to dive deep into this video today. I'm Pastor Jonathan. I'm here to help you dive deep into the Word of God and to help you understand what it means. And in these videos, we're going to be talking about the Bible, and we're going to be talking about different passages and what we think they mean. But before we actually dive deep into the Bible, we need to figure out which version is really going to be best for us. And so in this video, we're going to be talking about which Bibles are better and why. And let's just jump right into it. There are so many different kinds. You may prefer a version over one that I might prefer. So let's just kind of take a look and see. Now, one of the most popular Bibles is going to be the King James Bible. This Bible was first published in 1611, and it's pretty much used throughout most Christian churches. And even at the beginning of the 19th century, this was the most popular printed Bible. Printed book even. And the King James Version, it's got a little bit of an older style, and that's okay, but I think a lot of people find it intimidating. A lot of people find it kind of hard to understand, hard to read, and so to me, it's not one that I would necessarily recommend to maybe a new Christian or somebody that's just getting into reading the Bible, but it's definitely most popular. So we've got the King James Version. We also have the New King James Version, and I know you're thinking that's basically the same. Maybe they just did a little update, and that's pretty much all they did. It is the same to some extent, but they changed it up a little bit, tried to make it a little bit more modern. So the New King James was published in 1982, and so back from when the first one in 1611, that's almost 400 years that the church and the Christians used this same version, this King James Version. And so after 400 years, they're like, hey, maybe we need a little update. And so that's why we have now the New King James Version. Think about it. If you didn't update your phone for 400 years, it probably needed a little update. There's probably time for an update. It's crazy just to even think that you would have the same phone for that long, or to be alive even for that long. But this New King James Version, it changes just some words from like whosoever to whoever, or believeth to believes, thou to you. It's got some words changed in there because a lot of people were intimidated, I think, by some of those words. It just made it a little bit more muddy, a little bit harder to understand. And so now we have the New King James Version. Another version I'm going to talk to you about is the NIV, or the New International Version. The NIV was first published in 1978 and was published to meet the need for a modern translation. A lot of people, are still using King James and New King James, and NIV was kind of put out there so that, actually, New King James wasn't even out yet because it was 1978, but still, a lot of people were looking for something a little bit more, towards their language, or a little bit more easily to understand and to read. And so 15 different Bible scholars, that's my dog, 15 other Bible scholars, representing a variation of denominations. They got together, they got the oldest copies of the text, and they got various types of translations like Hebrew and Greek and Aramaic, and they got these together and they decided to create this NIV, this New International Translation. New Living's a different version, but New International Version. Okay, so they also decided that they would continually update this version as new discoveries came out, as new texts came out. They decided that they would update this version, and so in 1984 and in 2011 there were updates made to the NIV. And a lot of people prefer this translation because it's easier to understand. It's a little bit easier to read. And really, for the longest time, this was my favorite. This was the one that I used almost exclusively and preferred it over any other. So here's the bottom line. There are so many different versions of the Bible. I only talked about briefly 3 of them, okay? And here's the thing, there's just way too many to try to put in this video. There's way too many Bible versions to even try to talk about, and these were just some of the most popular ones. The ones I see the most, the King James, New King James, the NIV, those are the ones that I see the most. And you also have, different types of Bibles. You have a study Bible, you have a note-taking Bible, you have small Bibles, you got really big Bibles. This one probably isn't even really that big, but for you maybe it's huge, especially compared to something like this. Like I said, we have this note-taking Bible. It's got little side spots here for you to be able to jot down some notes. And their papers more designed for writing in. We have, for anybody that wants a pretty Bible, we've got nice pretty Bibles here. They got all types of Bibles. The bottom line though is the text and what is going to be best for you. Which text is best? The list could really go on, but which text actually is best for you? So personally, I recommend that you try them all out. I recommend that you take a look at each and every one. I know it sounds crazy because there's so many different types, but I think it would be more beneficial to you to decide for yourself which one's going to be best for you, because there are so many different types. You may prefer a version over one that I would prefer. And I know that looking at the Bible can be, almost intimidating when we look at it and we're like, oh my gosh, this thing is huge. What am I going to do? And there's so many different types of versions. So try them out, see which ones you like. This is the Bible after all. And again, I know it can be huge. I know it can be kind of intimidating. There are apps that you can download, free apps that you can download, so then you don't have to look at a giant book like this, or even a nice pretty book like this. Maybe you just prefer to have it on an app, and you can download free apps. There's 2 that I like and I use pretty often. It's going to be the Blue Letter Bible app and the YouVersion Bible app. These 2 are great. They give you a variety of different versions, and it makes it very easy for you to jump back and forth between different versions. So say you're reading in King James and you say, you know what, that might just be a little bit too much for me, a little bit too difficult, so I'm going to bump it up a little bit to the New King James. Or maybe you want to see what it looks like in the New Living Translation, or the NIV translation, or the Christian Standard Bible, the English Standard Bible. There are tons of different types of Bibles. So check those apps out. Blue Letter Bible, YouVersion Bible. In fact, got a question for you. Leave me a comment if you would like me to do a video over the Blue Letter Bible app or the YouVersion app, or maybe there's an app, a Bible reading app that you would like for me to do a video on. I'll check it out. We'll take a look at it. Like I said, these 2 are the ones that I use the most. Probably every time I get into a study, I'm jumping back and forth, looking at the different text, looking at the different versions. I think it's great that you kind of look at each one as you're studying, because it's going to help you understand a little bit more about what's being said. Again, wide variety, so many different Bibles. But I think that it is best for you to go in and to look at each one as you're studying, as you're reading, and try to figure out which one is going to be best for you. I prefer the NIV and the New Living Translation. I've been getting into that one more recently. And again, when I study though, I kind of move around a little bit. I kind of look to see. I prefer the way it's worded in some other versions than I do other. This is my final recommendation, okay? Don't get stuck in just one translation, okay? When you study, just check them out, jump around, look a little bit between the different versions, and kind of compare until you can find one that you probably prefer more than others. I would just take a look and kind of feel them out. If you're more traditional, you're probably going to want to go with the King James or New King James. If you are looking for something a little bit more modern, then you might be looking for the NIV or the New Living Translation, the New International Version. But for you, I would definitely say you're going to have to just kind of check it out for yourself. If you're a new Christian or somebody that's newly trying to get into the Bible and start looking at it, then I would recommend one of the more modern versions, just to at least help you so you don't just start looking at the Bible and start saying, man, I don't even know if I can do this, because some of it can be a little intimidating. So I hope this video has been beneficial to you. Again, leave me a comment if you think that this video has been good, or if you would like me to do a video on those apps, and I'll see you in the next video.